Hello, and welcome back to another edition of the Medeek Truss plugin. My name is Nathaniel P. Wilkerson, and today I'm going to be discussing the complex roof module, and I'm going to call this an introduction because at this point the complex roof module is still in development, but I think there's enough here now to kind of give you a few ideas as to what you can expect with this new module. So anyways, what I've done is I've added in this new toolbar, and this is the third toolbar for the Truss plugin extension. So basically we have this one up here, the main one, and you can see I've removed the complex roof icon and put it into this toolbar, and then we've got the tools here for trimming and such. So I'm just going to go ahead and put that back. So to start off with, I always like to start with a grid. Just makes life a little easier as far as laying out a roof or a floor or anything else like that. And so we're not going to get too crazy here, but let's just get started. Actually, what I'm going to do first is I'm just going to go ahead and draw an outline. I could use the wall tool and make walls, but I'm just going to keep it really simple right now and just focus on the roofs. So let's just go ahead and throw down an outline for a potential complex roof that you may want to frame up. This won't take me too long. And these can be non-orthogonal edges. It doesn't have to be like straight like this, but let's just go ahead and got ourselves a face. Okay, so I'm going to extrude this into a just some walls, essentially, just a big solid, really. And let's go ahead and make that a group just so it's handy. Okay, so right now when you click on this, it pulls up the menu here, the first menu, which is gives you rafters or trusses. Right now the trusses, there's nothing there yet, so if you click on this, it's just going to say you can't do anything. So we're going to click rafters, and when you do that, sorry, this came over the other screen. It pulls up the draw menu. And you can see now that we've moved over to HTML menus for everything, which is much nicer, so I'm really happy about that. Basically, you at this point there's not a face option, but there is. You basically just have to pick your point. So we'll just go quickly around this group here and grab the points. We should have did this earlier, but anyways, so we'll just jump our way around this little guy, grabbing our vertices. And you'll notice that a little construction point is created right at where you started. So that kind of gives you an indication where you need to go to end. And it will delete that construction point once you get back to it. So so there we go. There's a complex roof that it automatically set up. And once it does that, it of course jumps out of the tool, and the tool is done. So it should jump you out, and then you have to go back in. Okay, so let's go over real quick what geometry is being created here and what actually is going on. So the first thing you'll notice is that you have two layers down here. One's called roof hidden, one's called roof outline. Okay, so the hidden layer is what I call the roof primitive is being created. So if we turn off the cladding and we turn off the sheathing, okay, let's zoom out so you can see that as we do that. Let's turn off the sheathing as well. And let's turn off the fascia board. That's under roof frame. Okay, so now, and actually let's just turn off all the layers for the labels and stuff. So now what you're looking at here is what's called the roof primitive. Okay, so this is always generated, and this is always on what I call the hidden layer. You can turn this layer off, you don't have to leave it on, and that's off. Now the other layer you'll notice, and we're going to go ahead and hide this solid that we created the walls with just for now. We can always bring it back. So now this here object which I'm viewing here is also a group, and this is within the assembly of the roof. And if you click in, you can see that it's named roof outline. So please do not change that instance name. That identifies it for the plugin to know that that is the roof outline. That is what is determining where your walls are. Okay, and that is also normally can be hidden. So if you hide that and we turn back on, and you don't have to do this, I'm just showing this, you can see your fascia and you can see your sheathing and your cladding. Okay, so those are the three pieces of geometry that the plugin currently creates. So we're working on other things, of course the rafters, the hips, the ridges, and the gutters, and all that good stuff. So anyways, so yeah, that is your your basic geometry that it creates. If we unhide that other body now, you can see basically it lands in the right spot. Let's turn on our labels real quick again. The one thing to note is, so now we can edit these roof planes, right? And actually, I'm going to hide this one more time. And the reason why I hide it is because it is landing right on the roof outline. It sometimes is hard to select the edges with the roof outline. But to begin with, let's just let's go ahead and click this button here, this icon, and this is for editing the roof. And what this does is it edits the overall the overall settings or parameters for roof. So you just click it and then go ahead and click your complex roof, and up pops your basically it looks just like the draw menu, right? You've got your basic parameters for the roof. So for instance, if we want to change the overall pitch, let's go to an 812 roof. Okay, and so now we've got a steeper pitched roof. Okay. So that's all good. I mean, we can change everything from overhangs, bird's mouth cut, all that. We can set up our different ridge boards, widths and depths, and that is coming in the future here. And then we can change our sheathing up, for instance. Like let's say we want to go to a plywood with a horizontal markings. Let's go ahead and update on that. Actually, just turn that cladding off for a second so you can see that. So yeah, so we switched it now. Instead of OSB, it's a plywood, which I prefer. So that's the edit tool. So let's now kind of get into what's going on with these guys. So what I like to do actually is have this grid up at the roof outline level. And so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to bump that up 8 feet real quick. Let's go 8 feet, just because it makes it easier for me to move things around with, in increment values, nice foot increments. You don't have to do that, but just one of the things I like to do. So basically we have this roof, move roof edge, and so this allows us to push and pull these different roof edges in and out. Okay. So if I go ahead and click this, first thing you're going to notice is that it hides the sheeting and the cladding, and it also hides that hidden primitive if it is visible. And what that does, it exposes this blue outline so that you can, and you'll notice as you mouse over each edge, it will highlight. And so what that allows you to do is now you can go ahead and grab it, and then let's say we want to push that out. And then if you've hidden those, when it hides those edges, then it unhides them once it does the operation. And what it does is it's non-persistent. So that's just for stability purposes. So that means once you click on this, you move an edge, then it jumps out of the tool. And then if you want to move another edge, you got to click it again. And that, I think that's the same for the edit roof plane as well. So you can see that we moved that edge, and that changed up the whole shape of the roof. I'm going to go ahead and move one more edge here. I'm just going to grab this guy and push him out a foot, and move that. And then let's just say, just trying to show you guys kind of what happens here. Want to lengthen that guy, bring him out. Okay, now, now this is where it gets really interesting. So if, for instance, you move this edge right here, and you bring it out all the way to this edge, okay, what's going to happen is you're going to actually merge edges. Let's try that. And so now you've actually eliminated a couple of edges by pushing that all the way out to the same distance as that. And now, if you want, and let's say now you've got this, now you want to push this back in, you can do that. So but the thing is once you've merged those edges are gone, and they're no longer there, and so you can't really get them back. I mean, of course you can always get them back by doing undo here and jumping back to where you started, but that's one thing to note. What I will be doing, I think, is adding in an additional tool which allows a person to quickly create a little bump out. And so if you need to add a little bump out somewhere, you can do that. So that is something on the to-do list to add to the plugin. Okay, so anyways, now, so that's pretty much all there is to moving edges. It's fairly straightforward, fairly simple in my opinion. And it allows you actually to merge edges and simplify a roof if need be. And then what we do need to do is add that bump out tool to make it so you can add more complexity back in. Okay, so now this little icon or tool here is the edit roof plane. So each one of these edges constitutes a roof plane. And actually, sometimes you have situations where you have a pop out like this, and then this roof plane actually extends over here. But you can still edit each one of these roof edges and change up its pitch. So this pitch may not be the same as this pitch over here. But this model is not probably the best one to demonstrate that. Actually, you know what? We can demonstrate that quite quickly by just bringing this roof edge in line with this roof edge. Okay. So now what you've got is as you can see, you've got this roof plane that actually extends two roof edges. And this is what I call a a ridge that ends abruptly. So now again, this roof edge and this roof edge could be set potentially to different pitches. Okay, and so that's what we're going to do here. So now when you click this, same sort of thing. It hides everything, and you have the ability now to click each edge. Okay, so I'm going to click this edge right here, and as you can see right now, it's default. This little status will tell you that default means that there is no customized settings for this particular roof plane or edge. As soon as you hit update, it will set these settings that are listed here, and it will store it, and it'll say, okay, now it's no longer default. So if I hit up, and it may not change it because these settings may be the same as the rest of the roof. But when I hit update, now you notice it says custom, and you have the button pop up that says clear custom settings. So let's say you do customize this, you change it up, and then down the road you want to revert it back to the rest of the global settings of the roof. You can just hit clear custom settings and it will remove all of those settings. So if I go ahead and change this now to 712 pitch, okay, now you can see what happened. It pushed this edge of the roof at this pitch back, and now we've created a separate roof plane. Okay. And that's great. Maybe we like that. Maybe we don't. Maybe we want to change it to 612. Okay, and then down the road, maybe we don't want that roof plane to be separate from this roof plane. So then all you need to do is you just hit clear custom. You could always set this to 8, and it'll match that, and it's still a custom roof plane. But you could just hit clear custom settings, and now you notice that it goes back to default. Okay. And I think one thing I would like to do is make it so that the roof primitive will actually show you by some sort of color coding system or something which roof planes are custom and which roof planes are not custom. It might be a good visual indicator. So, all right. So let's do a few more things now. So go ahead, hit this. Let's edit this end of this roof right here. Now, one thing to note is that when you click on a orthogonal end like this, where you have a 90 degree and a 90 degree, that allows this piece of roof to do other things besides just a hip. So for instance, if you want to switch it to a gable. Okay, so now we have a gable roof. Alright, and I'm going to turn this outline off. And I'm going to show you what happens when you turn that outline off, and now we're going to click this again. Now we're going to change this, let's say, to, I don't know, Dutch gable. And let's just go with, say, a 24 inches setback. Okay, alright. Okay, yeah, I think this outline is supposed to turn on and off automatically, and generally it does. I think I may have to look at that. But anyways, it's not a big deal. You can just toggle it on and off, I guess, as need be. But basically, so there you go. So there's a Dutch gable. Now if you tried to do that same thing over here on this roof plane, and you go here and you click, you're going to notice these three options are grayed out. And the reason is because it will not allow you to right now apply a these other gable, Dutch gable, and half hip to this particular roof plane, because it realizes that it's not a 90 and a 90. So it's checking that. One thing I will need to add in is the ability to apply a gable to this situation where you have a gable on a gable. I'm still thinking about that algorithm, still thinking about how best to address it. So Still got a little bit more work to do with that. Alright, so let's go over here and grab this end, and let's go ahead and make a half hip, and it's a very small roof, so I'm just going to do a 12-inch setback, and there's that. And then I'm going to come over here, and by the way, you notice I'm closing out the menu each time. It's because if I select a roof edge to edit, or roof plane, this now is editing this roof plane, right? But it will not switch over to this roof plane. I mean, I've made it so it's non-persistent. So basically, if you want to select on the roof plane, you click this again, click your edge, and then go ahead and edit. It's for stability reasons right now. I just want to make sure everything's really solid before I get things too crazy. Let's see, we've got a Dutch gable, we've got a half hip. Oh, we want to add a gable here. Okay. Okay, so we pretty much got all the roof types possible. Well, there are others, but the basic roof types, I guess. Okay, so now this is where it gets a little bit more interesting. So we've got fairly symmetric roof, I would say, in most cases here. But let's say, for instance, now we want to start messing with pitches. Let's say that this pitch is not an 812. Maybe we want that less. Maybe, I don't know. Let's not get too crazy here. Let's just do a 712. See what happens. Okay, so now you notice we're getting asymmetric roofs, and you'll notice that these fascias still properly match up, but the angles, that is not a vertical line. If I was to try to draw a vertical line to that, you'll notice it's not quite vertical now, and that's just the nature of the beast. Same thing can happen here. You just click on the edit roof plane, click this edge. Let's change this now, let's say to a 612 pitch, and same sort of thing. We've got an asymmetric half hip roof going on there. We've got the subfascia. Yeah, so you can really massage these roofs, get them exactly kind of where you want them. Currently now, we've got roofs set up here so that they are basically all on the fascia line matches all the way around. And so, but what you can do is you can set, you'll notice on these roof plane options, you can set whether it's the top plate is auto or whether the overhang is auto. I'm not going to get into all that right now. I'm going to dive into that a little more detail later, but you'll notice though the overhang right now everything is set with the top. It's the overhang is auto adjusting, and the top plate is all at the same level. And so in order to achieve that with, say, these asymmetric roofs, you actually have more of an overhang here than you do here, and that's to allow that these top plates land at the same spot with the same rafter depth and the same bird's cut. So all of that affects how things get laid out. But the nice thing is that the Truss plugin, the complex roof module, is adjusting all of that automatically for you, so you don't have to think too hard about it. Okay, so final thoughts here. Basically, we've got the labels working finally, showing you your pitches, showing you your square footage, and in metric it'll show you, I think, your meters squared. And basically the method it does for labeling is the numbers used for the roof edges are basically start and wrap around clockwise, and then the letters start basically at, here's your 0 point. We'll start A, B, C, D, E, and work the way around. And as you end up with a situation like this, where you've got another piece plugging in another one, it'll go to H, and then it'll go I, J, K, and then it'll go over to the next section. So that's kind of how the lettering system works. Anyways, a lot more to do, of course, on this module. We've got to add rafters. We've got to add the hips, the valleys, the flying hips, gutters, downspouts, fascia, soffit. So there's a lot more work to be done, but currently working on those algorithms and trying to implement them. Anyways, if you have any questions, let me know, or any specific requests regarding this module. I'm always interested in your feedback. And thank you once again, everybody, for your support, and I will talk to you later.